start by itself, so you don't need to do anything, whether it's on a command line or any other application. This was actually requested by one of my viewers. So they had problems understanding what Quadlets do. So I said, you know what, that seems like something interesting, and I told them if it fits with something upcoming, I would do it. So I decided to do it with RustDesk, because RustDesk was one of those applications which I really enjoyed, and I actually set up on my laptop, and I did use it with my partner throughout summer. So I thought this would be a perfect time to do a little update and with a little twist with it. Alright, so let's get started. Before we do that, I'd like to implore you to subscribe, like, follow, and leave comments, because the more you subscribe, the more the content gets sent out to more viewers, and those viewers can join and either post requests like this one, where I can do a little research and I share with you, or they can post the tips and tricks, which I'll share with all of you. Thanks to everybody who subscribed so far this month. Keep it up. Let's get to the milestone and we can celebrate all together. Thank you very much. Let's get started. On to the intro. You see it says Systemd managed containers. I'll explain what that is. You actually see it in action as well. On to the show. All right. So I apologize for last night. I was not able to do a night stream. I did some work, some emergency work with a client, and then I finished basically 9 o'clock. I ate dinner, so pretty much late for me anyway. And I was really tired. And I was like, okay, by the time I finished, it was like 10 o'clock. I'm like, should I do a night stream at 10 o'clock? I wanted to, but I didn't feel like celebrating because it was so late, and I'd already finished all the chocolate I was hoping to celebrate and everything. So I was like, okay, you know what? Let's just leave it for today. So tonight will be the celebration. I'm actually going to see we're going to meet the same client late at night, but it's going to be for, I told him maybe 5 to 10 minutes, so that shouldn't disrupt the night stream at all. Okay, on to the show. All right. So as I said, RustDesk is one of the, I love this application. It actually did pretty well, I think, on all my channels as well. So this is the time for, if you don't know what RustDesk is, it's for team collaboration. Basically, it's one of those applications where you install it and you can take over the other person's computer. For example, let's say you work, let's say it's like your parents or, some clients or, and they have some issues. So you can communicate with them using RustDesk. It's free and open source, by the way, so you can self-host it. You can self-host your own server. I showed you how to do that in the last tutorial. And yeah, so it's basically a replacement for stuff like, I think, TeamViewer from way back when I used to use Windows. There's some other applications as well, but RustDesk works extremely well, especially since you can host your own server locally. You don't need to host your own server. You can obviously use public servers, but I'm saying it's for security reasons. Or if you're really if you're a little bit if you don't feel those are private enough, you can host your own server. And I showed you guys how to do this. So I did it on my workstation. I also did one on the laptop. So any of them could be the server for them. Especially if there's only 2 people, like one, you and the remote connection. So it works extremely well. Okay, so the focus of today's tutorial is actually not going to be the application, believe it or not. But if we do have time, we'll get, I might actually run it and see how it works. But I'm saying is that, as you see here, I still have the Podman YAML file, so I can whip it up anytime I want, and I have this desktop application. What I'm saying is today's tutorial is about the server part. Okay, so remember there's 2 parts. There's the client. This is what you see, like this screenshot here. This is the client, but there's also the server. So that's what I am focusing on, is the server. So you can self-host. That's what this is all about. So essentially, if you don't know what Podman Quadlets are and Systemd, so basically, if you guys seen all the Podman tutorials I've done, if you don't know what Podman is, it's a drop-in replacement for Docker to manage containers. It's on the command line. Of course, there's some tools I've shown you, like Cockpit, even DistroBox and all that kind of stuff. What I'm saying is that if you, the base of it is just Podman. And you see this is a compose file. Yeah, it's a YAML file. So basically what Quadlets are is, instead of using a YAML file, you then basically split, like for example, this one has 2 services. It has the, I think, a proxy server and the actual server. So what you do is you split them into separate services. And this is one here. You see this is the container itself, HBBR and HBBS. So you split them up. and then then they will start it like system D as well. You don't actually control the system D; it's specific to a user. I'll explain all that when we actually take a look at it later. Okay, so back to RustDesk. I said it's a free open source remote desktop solution that allows secure access to computers over a local network or the internet. So for example, I said if I want to connect to my laptop here, I could actually use this. Or for example, as I said, outside maybe the kitchen, I have like, not the kitchen, the computer in the shed, where it could be a Raspberry Pi or something, you could connect to it using RustDesk. It's a strong alternative to proprietary remote desktop tools and gives you full control over your infrastructure. So this beginner level guide will show you how to run RustDesk using Podman and manage it using Podman Quadlets and systemd. An optional Podman Compose example is also included. The reason I included the Podman Compose one is because if you just want something up and running very, very quickly, of course, I said this because this tutorial is a continuation of the one we did before. So I wanted to have the code here just to show you how you can run it as well. So I already explained it's open source, community driven, self-hosted. Of course, you have full data control. It's cross-platform support because Podman works on obviously Linux, Mac OS, and Windows. It's lightweight and fast and works well with Linux containers. Obviously, I'll show you guys running. So what are Podman Quadlets? Podman Quadlets allow containers to be managed directly by systemd using a simple configuration files. This ensures services start automatically on boot and integrate cleanly with the operating system. So with systemd, all you have to do is enable a service, and what will happen is it will start automatically when you reboot the system. So you don't have to, you know how in Podman the YAML file or Docker you have to put like always start or stop like that. You don't have to do any of that stuff. Systemd will take care of all that for you. Okay, so the prerequisite to following this guide is obviously you need to have a Linux system, systemd. I think there's some BSDs which have systemd. I'm not sure if systemd is also integrated into the Windows with the what do you call that? Windows for Linux, the service Linux. I don't know if it's I don't know, but I'm saying I know it works in Linux. So you need Podman 4 or newer. I'm using Fedora 43, so it does have the the latest packages there. And you need to know some basic terminal knowledge, but not too much. I said I'll walk you through everything. Don't worry about it. So the first thing you do if this is the first time you've used Podman Quadlet, like for me it was my first time. What you need to do is you need to create a Quadlet directory if one doesn't exist. So for me, none existed. So what I had to do is I had to go and create one, and I'll show you how to create that. So what you do is you see here it's in your home folder. You can do it on the command line, but it's basically on your home folder. So I'll go here, open up my home folder here, and I'm going to show all the folders. And see, you have to go to the .config. They're hidden by default, so just go down to config. Here's config, and then you go to containers. Oh, it looks like I deleted it. So for me it doesn't exist, so I'll need to create it. See, there's no containers here. Yeah, oh sorry, there's containers. And then there's Podman. You see there's one for Podman, but we don't have one for systemd. So I'm gonna have to create that. So what you can do is simply I'm gonna go and create it. So I'll go and do that right now. Is this the command line? I'm a little bit tired because when I came back from Toronto, they snowed yesterday. Then today all morning I was removing the snow. It was actually it's a good thing I did it because it was already turning into ice. So I just got it just in time. So what I do is I just paste this command in here. -p just means that if the folder doesn't exist, it will create it. So for example, let's say systemd if containers didn't exist, it will create it. So that's what we do here. You see that's created here, systemd. We go into this folder here, and then what I'm going to do is I'm going to use the touch command to create two files which we'll actually use. So those files are I'll just do both of them. I'll create two files. One, as I said, for both. There's two services. So there's two services. So we're going to open these two files up. I'm going to open up. I'm going to open up in a text editor, and basically the code is here. It depends what type of service. So in this case, it's two services. As I said before, one is for the actual server, Excuse me, I need to grab a drink of water. When I came back from Toronto, I was so thirsty. I've been drinking so much water. I think because it was so hot, so it was so cold that driving there and driving back, I had the heater on in the car. So I think that's another reason. And plus, when I was there, I had a few cookies and some sweet stuff. So I think that's another reason because I'm not used to consuming that stuff. So I think it also my body is craving some electrolytes as well. So basically, what you do is I'll explain all this stuff. So including the ports and all that. So some of the information you see online is kind of dated. So I'm going to show you the most recent. The way you should actually do it for and future proof yourself. For example, I'm on Fedora. I said it uses the latest packages, so you have to make sure you do it that way. It's pretty easy. Don't worry about it. Okay, so we open these files up. So the first file is this one, the HBR. Let me zoom in here. Yeah, there we go. HBR. So I'm just going to copy paste here because I don't want anything to what do you call it? I don't want anything to, I don't want to make a mistake, so I'll just paste it in here. So this is the HBR one. I'll just zoom out a little bit so you can see it. So HBR is the relay server. That's HBR. Oh, R stands for relay. So that's a relay server. So you see it's going to grab it from docker.io. So you have to be very specific. I think in some old ones, all you have to do is just put something like RustDesk/RustDesk server and then latest, you will grab it. But in this one, you have to be very specific. So you have to put docker.io so it knows where to get it. So it's not like Podman, where Podman would try, for example, the Fedora repositories, then it would try Docker, the Docker.io, etc. So you have to be more specific. That's fine. The command that's going to execute is going to be hbbr, and then the network is host, obviously, and then the actual folder that you want. So make sure you create this folder. And if you guys saw, I did create this folder. It's called Quadlets. So I'm going to delete this one, the old one. And I'm going to create a new one. You know what? I'll create it in the command line. Don't worry. I'll create it in the command line. So make sure that folder exists, and then it will be mapped to /root inside the container. That's all it is. And then we have the service restart and then stopped. So this is our. I need to save this. This is the relay server, and then we have our. The actual server itself, the RustDesk server. So I'm gonna copy this one in there for you. Zoom in as well. So you see, this is the actual RustDesk server. You see, it runs after the relay server has started, and it requires the relay server. So you see, this one is also from docker.io. It's RustDesk server latest. You see the difference? It's because I'll show you. It will make more sense when I show you the Podman YAML file, and then you can see the command this one runs is hbbs space -r, and then you have to put the domain or the specific IP address for their workstation. In this case, it's this one here, because for example, if I'm using my phone or then a laptop locally, I need to connect it here. So if this was a domain like on a public server, I would obviously have the IP address there, or the domain, for example, would be like a jumbo.com, whatever. And then the port is 21117, okay? And then again, network is host. And then it goes to the Quadlet folder. I said I'll create this as well, and it's mapped to /root. And again, restart and stopped. That's it. That's all you need. That's it. That's all you need. So we're done. That's all we need. We're done. So what some people do is they put it in the home folder. Of course, that's perfectly fine. So you don't, for example, when you see this %h, that means the home folder. So some people just put it in the home folder and they'll move something like RustDesk there. That's perfectly fine. But I said I wanted to put it into this tutorial folder here just to show you that obviously it could be like a petition, not a petition. It could be a petition, but like a USB key or something like that. Just so you have your you keep your things private. So we don't need any of this code anymore. So this is pretty straightforward here. So you can do something like this where I put it in the actual article. However, that's not recommended because you should really keep the services separate, just like this. If something breaks, you will be able to diagnose it, because you can also diagnose it using a journal CLT. So right, so if you do this, it will be hard to diagnose which service or what part actually is the one that has an issue. Oh, and I forgot this one: install wanted by default.target, which is obviously the relay server. So I'm going to minimize this because that's no longer needed. So back here, I'm in this folder here now, but I believe, let me type pwd. Yes, so I'm in this folder here. So remember, we also need to create, I need to create that Quadlet folder. So I'm going to do that. You see, I'm going to use -p here. So it's going to create Quadlet, and inside the Quadlet folder, you see there's a data folder. Okay, so I've created that. And if you want to see the Podman version, just type Podman space -- version. As I said, I'm using Fedora 43, which always comes with comes with the latest version of Podman, most up-to-date versions, which is 5.71. So remember, you need at least version 4. Okay, now the instructions, when I was researching this, also there's something you also need, and the name is slightly different depending on what distribution you're in. So even if you have Podman, there's another package you also need to make sure. So for me, I'm lucky in that I didn't have to install anything else so you need to make sure that the system generator, sometimes it might be split. For me, I was lucky that it was not. I didn't have to install anything else. But sometimes I'll explain to you what. Sometimes it's called Podman so let me explain what I'm trying to say. So let's clear this. Oops. Let's clear this. So if I go DNF search and I type Podman, you see there are some Podman packages. So for example, you see here, there's some Podman packages. I'll zoom up. So for example, this one is a Podlet. This is the one. See Podlet. This generates Quadlet files. So I created my own Quadlet files, but this one will generate the Quadlet files for you. And you see there's some other stuff here like Sequoia. There's all this Python stuff. It's based in Python anyway. So you see there's TUI. This obviously means the text UI or command line type stuff. There's remote, there's machine, there's Docker. I think that's uninstalled by default. It emulates Docker commands. There's compose, I have that installed. There's cockpit, I showed you guys cockpit last time. And there's Ansible and Podman. So as you can see here, I'm lucky that the way Fedora packages it, it comes by default. I don't need to install another package, is what I was trying to say. When I was doing research, some of them you have to install something called Podman-Quadlet. I don't have to. So to make sure, to search to make sure that you do have it, I'll give you a command here. Let me clear this. So you see, just make sure you have this one, Podman-system-generator. You see, I just list out in the system generators and in the system D. So I'm lucky. I said it on Fedora. It comes with it. So if this doesn't match up anything, another way is to check to see if there's something called Quadlet. So I'll give you a command to paste. So here we go again. Here's another command you can type, or depending on your, obviously I'm on Fedora, so they use DNF and RPM, but I'm saying is if you're on some other one, you do the same thing. Just search to see if it's installed. In my case, there's something called Quadlet, and you can see, so I know it's installed on my particular system, right? If you don't know what MAN stands for, that stands for manual. So there we go. Now, before you actually run before you run anything, it's a very good idea to do dry runs. So I'll show you how to do dry runs as well. There's a command specifically for dry runs. So what you do, this will tell you if there's any mistakes, and it will fix them for you. So for example, if I paste this in here, so you can see here when I type that command, you can see the dry run. dry run, you see there's nothing wrong with my configuration. You see it found the HBBR service. There's nothing wrong with it. If there was problems, it would tell you. It would say like line thing is wrong or whatever. So this one way I was able to do a little research, and I found out, like, when I tried to run this, some of these commands are old. So for example, you no longer there's a command. Yeah, so this is fine. This is updated. But for example, some of the documentation I saw, they would say, oh, put the word command. Command is no longer valid, so you have to put exec, right? So this is the type of stuff that is valid now, but wasn't. Might have. Command is no longer valid. It will give you an error message. So for example, so this is correct, and you can see here, and you can see some of the stuff it's going to run in the background for you. You don't have to worry about that. So as you can see, my dry run is perfect, and yeah, so there's no issues with my dry run. So that means that I can actually start my this. Now remember, Podman is rootless. It's meant for specific users. So don't put this system-wide, because that doesn't make any sense. You want to put it for a specific user. So that's the reason we use Podman here, right? So let me clear this. Now the dry run was perfect. So what now what we're going to do is we're going to enable and start systemd. So here's the command to enable. What you do is you systemctl space -- user space daemon -reload. So you just type that, and nothing wrong. Now we can actually start the services. The only service we need to actually start is the HBBS service, that one there. Okay, that's all you need to do. That's literally all you need to do. So you see, now we can check we can now check the status of our the relay service and the actual server. So if you want to check the status, it's very simple. Remember, we're not checking system-wide. We're just going to check. So you can see here. You notice I only started the HBBS service, but it was smart enough, because the way I wrote the systemd, it was able to start it was able to list the units for the HBBR service and the HBBS service. See, they both have been generated. Okay. Now we can check the status for both of them and see what's going on, and I'll show you how to do that. So as you can see here, the relay service, that's the HBBR service. It has been started, and you can see it started on the service is up and running. So that's it. That's all you need to do. You see, it says the relay service is running. So now this is running. We are good to go. Okay. So let's check what is the other one? HBBS. Let's check the HBBS. See, it doesn't matter which one you do. HBBS. So HBBS is here. You see, it's also running. I just wanted to show that to you guys. So HBBS is running, and HBBR is also running. Both of them are running at the same time, just to show you proof that both of them are running. Right now, if you want to check the logs, let's check the logs for HBBS. That's the server one. Okay, so here we go. You see, this is a journal ctl space -- user. Remember, just user space -u space HBBS space -f, and you can see it's up and running. So this means that I don't need to do anything going forward. My that's it. We're done with the Podman Quadlets. They're going to auto start next time you actually they're running right now, as you saw. If in case you don't, they're running right now. So it was enabled and it said running. So when you reboot the system, they will automatically start. You don't need to do anything anymore. That's it. They're done. They'll be running. Now, one of the problems is, for example, my particular system is that I have a login. So if you want to, what I mean is that if this was a remote server which I want to reboot, and I don't want it to wait for the for somebody to log in before we if I don't want somebody to log in, or sorry, before the service starts, there's a way to do that. I'll just give me a second and I'll show you that. I'm just checking on the live chats to make sure they are all working. Give me a second here. Okay, where are you? Bottom. What? Oh, we went to the wrong one. Oops. This one is. It's a problem when I use too many text editors. Sometimes I forget the shortcuts to do different things. Okay, here we are again. Okay, so if let me clear this. Oops. Oh, Control C. So clear this. So Q to exit. So if you want to start on reboot without if you want them to start on reboot without having to log in, this is the command you type. You just type start on reboot without login. You type login ctl space enable hyphen linger space, and then you can put your username there. But I'm saying $user, that's the user. For example, my user I believe is Edward, so that will start as well. So I'm not going to run that. I'm not gonna run that because I said this is a tutorial. I literally log in every day. I'm okay with that. But I'm saying that if you wanted this to be automated, you would add that as well, and that's how you get it working. So now the service is running, and I'll show that to you in a second. But before we do that, I want to show you the. I want to compare it to this YAML. I want to compare it to this YAML file. So I'm going to open this up also in the text editor. I think I can do a split screen so you can see the differences. This one, can I split it off? I think I can. Okay, I have to split it into different. Yeah, here we go. So I want to split this. Oh, you know what? I can do a. Okay, that's fine. I'll just do a split this way so you can see the difference. I'm gonna. Oh, I can make this smaller. What was I thinking? I can make this even smaller and zoom out. Where is the. There we go. I'll zoom out just so you can see what's going on here. Okay, so let me zoom in just a little bit. Okay, so if you see the I guess I can zoom out. Okay, there we go. So you see, this is the YAML file where I had both services. See, I had the relay server and the server. So you can see it's a container name HBBS, and this one was HBBR. So you can see it's very similar, right? It depends on it's basically rewriting the YAML file, your Docker compose or whatever you call it, Podman compose file, and writing it in a. You have to split the services. That's the difference. Basically, it's like taking, what is this one here? This was the HBBS. So it's like taking this part here, HBBS, and putting it here. You see the difference is the network mode is just host. The volume is a little bit different. The volumes are here, but you get the point. So like you see, this is data root. They're essentially the same. They're exactly the same, except here you have to do the execute part. So that's everything is exactly the same. So if we go to the relay one, this is the relay one. Let me zoom out. And the relay one is down here as well. So it's HBBR, same here. And the container name HBBR, here it will be execute HBBR with the network. You see, it's the same thing. It's basically rewriting the YAML file for Podman Compose or Docker Compose into separate services. That's what Podman Quadlets are. You basically split it. So obviously, if you have one thing that has a lot of containers, you'd have to split them up into all separate services. So that's the recommended way to do it. You can run it like you see here. You can run it as one service, but that's not recommended. You should actually split the service. That's the way. That's the recommended way of doing it. So now with that said, you guys saw it was running very quickly. And obviously I already have this, so let's go. I don't know if this is going to work. I had some issues. I downloaded this version of RustDesk at least a few days ago, and then I had some issues with it, but hopefully it's okay today. So let's see if this actually works. Let's start it up. It's giving me a black screen. Yeah, so it looks like it's a black screen, a black screen as well. So it looks like it's not going to work. So I think I'll just stop it now. And the funny thing is, it did that after I had. Did it actually close? Is this it? No. Okay, this is RustDesk. I'm gonna quit it. I don't. Yeah. So the funny thing is, it looks like it still has some problems with Wayland. I thought it was fixed. It was working. It worked on the laptop, at least in the old version. Anyway, so that's the tutorial. I said you can see I've run RustDesk. This is the app image. I don't know why it's giving me those issues, but okay, whatever. It started giving me those issues after I was running the server, so I don't know why it's like that. Or maybe I'm supposed to run it first, then run the server. I'm not sure. Okay, so let's say you don't like this. Give me a second. I need to grab some water. Yeah, my throat's been really sore. Okay, so let's say you're finished and you don't want this. You see, one of the things I do is a lot of people will show you how to install stuff, but they don't show you how to uninstall it. So I'm going to show you. Let's say you've been running this and you're pretty happy with it, but it's no longer needed. Maybe you found an alternative. So let me show you how to fix that. So the first thing you need to do, if you're trying to remove this, I'll show you what you do. First thing you do is you need to stop the services. You see that? First of all, you stop them. You see HBBS service and the HBBR. Remember, HBBR is the actual relay, and this is the service. So that's what you do. And then, if you remember, we created this two files in our systemd, right? Locally. You see, that's what .config container / systemd. So we need to remove these two files. Now, even though I created the systemd folder, it didn't exist before, so the easiest way is simply just to go here and delete it. But you might be using it for something else. So I'll show you how to do both ways. Just remove it. Obviously, you can. You see, delete it there. I'm gonna delete this folder as well because I'm not using it for anything else. But there we go. And then what you can do is let's clear this. I had like 2 cans of pop, man. I'm still like, I can't believe I'm barking a couple days later. Okay, so just reload again, and then we're also gonna remove. We don't need this anymore. We're also gonna remove this Quadlet folder because we don't actually need it. And you see the data folder is gone here. And then we can also just remove that folder as well. Yeah. So one thing I do like about this is that usually when you run Podman Compose, because the root user takes over, you're not able to do anything with, like for example, this data file. Not be able to do anything. But that's one of the things I do like about the Podman Quadlets. You can still, it's just a regular user. I love that feature. Now, it's done. So if you type podman ps-a, you see I don't have anything running here. I still have this one for, that's going to be I guess tonight's tutorial. But if I type podman images, you see I still have the RustDesk here. It's pretty small. RustDesk is pretty small. It's only 12.8, so I can remove this as well. I'll show you how to do that. It's pretty straightforward. You can use the name, or you can use the image ID, but I'm going to use this name here instead. You see, now if I go back up again, you see it's gone. I've deleted it. And then if we list the units, it should not be there. So let's clear this. You see, nothing. It's gone. So I showed you how to install RustDesk, the server, using Podman Quadlets, and I showed you how to get it up and running, enable it, etc. And I showed you how to also remove it. There we go. Now, if some people still have an issue with this, sometimes if you want to know what your IP address is, your local IP address for your system, you can go to your router. Now, some people might not have access to the router, so they believe it or not, there's like some shared connection and stuff, so you might not know. But here, if you're on Linux, you just type ifconfig, and you see if you type if config and it tells, for example, it tells me my IP address is right here. Okay, that's the one I can use. If you're on Windows, you can type IP config. If config should also work on a Mac because they're based on a POS type system. There's others like there's IP, all those things. So there are ways you can find out. It's no problem. For example, if you're like on an Android phone, you just go to about phone. It will tell you what that is. Sometimes if you go to about a computer or something like that, it will also tell you as well. So there's multiple ways you can find out. It's no problem. All right, now for this application, the RustDesk, I believe it's also on FlatHub. Let's check it out on FlatHub. If you wanna use the application, let's go check it out. I'm gonna do here and I'm gonna search for it. I'm hoping it's here. RustDesk. Yes, RustDesk is here also on FlatHub. And you see I can install it here. It's on the FlatHub. I can install this one as well, and then you can use it. It's a very small file, which is pretty nice. And you see it gets a lot of high scores. So it is community built. This is a license it runs under. There we go. So that's Rust. I've done a tutorial on this. You guys just search for Ojambo, go to ojambo.com. You'll see how. So for example, here on ojambo.com, if I go here, oops, I should open up a new tab. And if I search here and I type Rust, what's wrong? Why can't I say it? RustDesk. You see, this one here. It was from. Oh wow! It's like, can't believe that. Wow! It's like 6 months ago. See, I did this one here, and I connected to my laptop, so I do have it there, and I created I think this was a live stream as well, if I remember correctly. Yeah, so there's a bunch of screenshots how to use it, or on the laptop as well. And here was, yeah, this was a live stream as well. So it was live. So there we go. Yeah, so it's there. So if you wanna, it's a really good application. I highly recommend it. Okay, so let's finish this up. I've shown you different ways to install it. Obviously, I even showed you the old one where that one I was using Podman Compose. And here we go. Oh, these are the screenshots of everything I've done to this. I'm not gonna go through that because I showed you how to run all that. And here, this is the live. So we're live. There we go, live. Now, let's show you here. I have some other resources. If you enjoyed this, you can get my programming books on Amazon. The link is also in the description. You can simply go and search for Edward Ojambo. I also have programming courses available on ojamboshop.com. For example, there's PHP, Python, and JavaScript. And if you prefer one-on-one tutorials, you can contact me on ojambo.com/contact. And if you want consultation services, for example, RustDesk installation and migration services, you can contact me at ojamboservices.com/contact. Links for everything is in the description as well. Okay, in conclusion, RustDesk combined with Podman Quadlets and Systemd provides a clean, secure, and production-ready remote desktop solution suitable for beginners and advanced users. I have some other recommended resources. I live in a rural area. I'm just surrounded by farmers, so there's no internet. The cellular service is sporadic. So I use SpaceX Starlink residential service to give me high-speed internet. For example, right now I'm live streaming to YouTube, Rumble, BitChute, and Odyssey at the same time. I also use it on my phone for Wi-Fi calling. That way I'm able to send and receive calls, text messages, including the multimedia ones, without having to pay any roaming charges. So if you do use my referral link, I'll get 1 month free and you get a massive discount. For example, if you're in Canada, you get the equipment for free. And if you're anywhere else around the world, you also get a massive discount. The type of discount duration depends on your geographical location, but you will get a massive discount. So do use my referral link. That's one way you can help me. The other one I have is an affiliate link. It's for this one. I love this device. It's called the Honeywell HeatBud Personal Ceramic Heater. It has settings for low and high. Low uses 170 watts, high uses 250 watts, and has a protection when it trips over. It just triggers this and it turns off. So this little guy has saved me hundreds of dollars because this place is heated by propane. So there's 2 tanks outside. Truck comes about once or twice a month. They fill it up. It's only for the heating the furnace, so meaning that's it's only for heating. It's very expensive. My first year here, it was mild winter. I was paying $350 a month for heating. It's crazy. Yes, I know. Last year I got smart in the coldest. It was very harsh winter in the coldest month. Somewhere in mid-February last year, I got this guy and started using it, and I saved $100. I was very happy with it. And last month, cold, was snowing every other day, very very cold. I think the coldest November ever, and I paid $130 for propane, so I was very happy with that. So this guy works. Proof that it works. So yes, it does use electricity. I use low. I switch it. I put it on low, and when I'm feeling I just need a little bit extra, I do switch it on for maybe once or twice an hour. So my bill, my electrical bill is $3 to $4. I put $5 because I use low, but some people might prefer high, so that's why I did that. Remember, it's a space heater. It's not meant to heat up the entire house or your room. It's only a small space. So you see, I'm in the smallest space in the house here, and obviously my space is just the desk. That's all I care about. I don't need to heat up the entire house or even this entire room. Just my and obviously I dress warmly as well. So this guy's been fantastic. In fact, what I'm gonna do for next year, next winter, is I'm gonna get a few of these guys, and then I'll probably put them on a timer. I'll get some fancy ones. I'll put on a timer, so that way I can even lower the temperature. So the temperature right now is set to 15 degrees Celsius permanently. So I plan to maybe set it to 14 or 13 degrees permanently, and then have these guys that will come on maybe once an hour in all the rooms as well. So it will even be better. Yeah. Okay, so you can pick this up on Amazon, and I said it's an affiliate link for me. I'll get a commission. There's no extra cost to you. I have a novelette. It's called The Algorithmic Serpent. It's actually been doing pretty well, but surprisingly, nobody's actually reviewed it. Right? I don't know why. It says by me, Edodo Jambo. It's about a scientist who creates an AI system and loses his mind, so he has to regain control of his mind and the AI system. It's available on Amazon right now. There's also an ebook version. You can get the ebook version for free if you have Kindle Unlimited. It's very affordable. The majority of the cost goes to printing and shipping for the paperback version, and for the ebook version, it's for storage costs. And my latest one is this one, the Recession Business Blueprint. If you ever thought of starting a business, the best time to start a business is during a recession, which is right now. So this is a guide. It will guide you to how to start the business, where to look for ideas to start the business, if you need funds, and if, for example, if you're thinking, should I start the business at home? Should I rent an office? I have a detailed guide for you to how to decide on doing that. For example, for me, when I started the business, everybody told me I should rent a place. I didn't feel like it because I was making no money, so I decided to start a business at home, and that worked extremely well. And then the funny thing is, it's only when I actually sold the condo, that's when I actually when I moved out. That's when I actually rented an office, and then it was the worst time to rent because I was doing the lockdown, so nobody felt like traveling. So, but I wanted to try it because back of mind I was thinking maybe I'm missing some customers because I don't have a space where they can come, and so I thought of that way. But yeah, it didn't make a difference. So running a business home is perfectly fine. So if you need any consultations, you can always contact me, and I'll show you. I'll give you the ways you can contact me soon. If you don't know more about me, I'm a programmer, fancy name, software engineer, web developer, and author. My book page on Amazon, the link is here. If you need support like consultation services, or jamboservices.com, and if you need any the online courses, or jamboshop.com, the link is also there. So to contact me, you can write a comment. This comment form closes about after 10 days after the article goes up live. But please, if you're going to use the comment forms, be sure to at least keep it related to what the topic is. For example, this one is about RustDesk. If maybe there's another application that's better than RustDesk, you can write that, no problem. Or if there's problems you don't like about RustDesk you want me to investigate, let me know. Put it in there. And maybe there's a proprietary software that's actually better than RustDesk, sure. Although I stay only on free open source software for your freedom, I'm saying if there's something that's proprietary that has features that are not available, yeah, let me know, because maybe the developers don't know, right? So let me know. And then the best way to contact me is use the contact forms, or jambo.com/contact, or jamboservices.com/contact, and jamboshop.com/contact. If you want to follow me, the channels, I live stream every day: Odyssey, Rumble, BitChute, and YouTube. Okay. I also want to remind you that you should subscribe, like, follow, and leave comments, because the more people subscribe, the more the algorithm sends it out to more viewers. They can join this growing community and they can post their requests or tips and tricks. For example, this tutorial was inspired by something one of my viewers requested. He needed help with setting up Podman Quadlets. Couldn't figure it out, and I just did. And I had to do some research myself. What I'm saying is, yeah, it was worth it. So I share with everybody. I share everything. Okay, and then I'm gonna put the outro on, and we'll go back up just about here. That's good. No, maybe here. Oh, I don't know what's going on there. Okay. So if you want to know what's upcoming, you go to ojambo.com. Go to Watch Menu Live Server. You can see this is a tutorial we've just finished up right now, and this is the one we're doing tomorrow. We're going to build our own Android webcam. We're going to use a Note phone as a webcam in order to broadcast it to OBS. So we're not going to use any third-party services or proprietary software. We're going to build our own, and I'll show you how that might become a series. It's actually interesting because this was very popular when I started doing live streams earlier this year, and I haven't done one. Even mentioned the chicken webcam. I think that's what I used to call it, but here we go. And then after that, we have some upcoming other stuff we're going to do later after that. But yeah, so that's how you can see it. And then I apologize again because I was not able to do anything last night, but I'm going to celebrate you, my subscribers, tonight at 8:30 p.m. Eastern. Now, tonight, yes, it's going to be tonight, yes. No matter, even though I'm still a little bit tired, but we'll do it tonight. I won't be eating anything, so maybe that will actually be better. But yeah, so it's gonna be based on what we did yesterday, and I'll show you what we did yesterday. Was this the AMD Instinct? We set up Fedora 42 with ROCm 6.3 and 6.4 on the host system, and we worked. Now, it was taking about 7 seconds. So I'm going to show you how you can get it down to about a second, up to, you can probably get down even less than that, but I'm happy with about 2 seconds. But I'll show you how we do that. So be sure to watch that tonight. So even though it's for the AMD Instinct MI60 GPU, the content applies to any GPU. It could be NVIDIA, it could be even if you don't have a GPU. I'll show you how you can use ComfyUI and the Z Image Turbo to get better, faster output. Yeah, you hear me right? Better, faster output. So just be sure. So this is going to be continuation. It's going to be tonight at 8:30 p.m. Eastern. Don't miss that. And then okay. So with that, I'm going to check the live chats to see if there's any chat requests. I'm going to start with Odyssey. I don't see anything there. I don't see anything in Rumble. I don't see anything in BitChute, and I don't see anything with YouTube. Okay, so with that said, I'll leave you guys now, and I'll see you tomorrow. Tonight at 8:30 p.m. Eastern, and tomorrow at 2 p.m. Eastern.